Patrick hasn't slept in ages. He's been plagued by insomnia. That night, he lay down in bed to sleep, but he just couldn't drift off. After tossing and turning for a long time, he gave up. He sat in bed for a full 24 hours, so he decided to visit SpongeBob. SpongeBob was fast asleep at the time. Suddenly, Patrick stood by his bedside. Then Patrick suddenly grabbed him to play a game. Patrick was having a blast, but SpongeBob was exhausted, barely able to keep his eyes open. SpongeBob tried to help Patrick cure his insomnia, so he cared for him like a baby. Before feeding, he checked the temperature. Finally, he sang a lullaby. Patrick finally started feeling sleepy, but SpongeBob fell asleep first. Patrick had no choice but to go outside. First, he lifted a rock to knock himself out, but it didn't work. Then he pulled out a hose and whacked himself with it. He even smashed himself with an anchor, but nothing worked. So he sought help from Squidward. Patrick wanted to hear Squidward's life story. Squidward immediately excitedly invited Patrick in. Then Squidward took out his autobiography and started bragging. Soon Patrick realized this had nothing to do with sleep, so he grabbed the hose and knocked Squidward out. Then he hung a sausage on his head and ran around the rock house. After a month, the ground beneath his feet caved in. The sausage had turned into an old man. The sausage begged Patrick to eat him. Just then, SpongeBob arrived. He told Patrick that summoning the Sandman would let him sleep, so Patrick quickly sculpted a Sandman out of sand, but it seemed unresponsive. Suddenly, the Sandman vanished. He opened the stone house to find it had escaped. Patrick quickly caught the Sandman. Then the Sandman spewed a purple smoke, but it was actually car exhaust. The Sandman was just Patrick's imagination.